The Ethereum Foundation has started selling Ethereum once again. Just yesterday or today, on October 9th, they sold $2.7 million worth of ETH on Uniswap. Why does this matter? Well, they have a notorious record for timing the exact peak of the market. If we want to take a look over here real quick at this chart posted by a Reddit user, you will see the historic selling of Ethereum by the ETH Foundation. It's pretty aggressively showing you that they time the top every single time. They know what they're doing. Every single time that they sell, it's at a high price point. And unless we're in a peak bull market activity like through 2017 or through 2021, they do a pretty damn good job at selling at the top. And they sold earlier this year as well. They actually sold, because this chart right here does not give us all of the information. It ends in 2021, 2022, right before that bear market. So I don't have selling information for the bear market. But if we go look in May of this year, so a little bit earlier, they also sold $30 million worth of Ethereum. So it was May 7th, I believe. So right here. That's pretty much the peak of this year so far for Ethereum. So again, they are a business and they sell Ethereum to fund operations at that business, give or take a little bit. What's good, Dream? And so they need money to get through these bear markets, which is why they sell into the bull market. They are a picture-perfect example of what people should do if they want to survive the crypto cycles. Then they don't sell as it goes down, and then when we spike up a little bit, because even though this looks like nothing, this whole region from really May of 2022 until now, which is 500 days, is only a 13% drop, right? So it's like, okay, we've been going sideways for 514 days, but that's not actually the entire story. If you take it from the bottom of the market until the peak, we went up 150%. Till where we are right now, you're up 80%. That's some really good returns. That's some really solid returns, especially for a multi-billion-dollar organization. So anytime they sell, it's definitely worth paying attention to. You can look back on this chart specifically. You have one, I'm going to count how many times they sold at the exact peak. You got 1, 2, I'm not going to count that because they still continue to go up. 3, 4, 5 times. 5 times they sold at the exact peak, and it happened to just be pretty much every single peak that they had. So worth paying attention to. $2.7 million is not that dramatic. It's not a huge amount of money to them, but to us it is. Just the indication that they are selling is worth paying attention to. But let's see if we can't make some money in this market today. Let's see if we can't grab our slice of the liquidity, right? Let's go get some money. Let's do some trading. Last week was not the greatest week of trading for me personally, for us. I went 2 for 2. So I took 4 trades, I won 2, and I lost 2. Now, because we set up the structure so that you're risking less than the potential for gains, we eked out some gains for the week, but not by a good stretch. I don't want 50-50 win streak. I want it to be closer to like 60-65% winning. So last week is just part of the game though. We're not going to win all the time. Remember, we had that 2-week stretch where we didn't lose a single trade. It all evens out. Statistically, that meant that I had to go on a little bit of a losing streak. And I'm going to count last week as a losing week, a losing streak week. But let's change that up this week. Let's change that up this week. So let's look specifically at Ethereum. You can see that I know I got a lot of random lines here. I'm going to keep them for a little bit longer. We are just breaking down support that we've been holding for quite some time. So drawing from the bottom earlier of this cycle to the last time we touched it back in November of 2022 until August 2023, we wicked down, and then we've kind of been riding it for the last couple months. And as of today, we are breaking through it. We'll see if Ethereum closes below it. It's kind of a break of structure. We'd want to see it come down, come back up, test it again, and get rejected for a confirmation of movement. Otherwise, this could just be viewed as like nullifying the trend line, right? All right, let me go. Well, let's go through the market first, and let's just see what's up. We have Bitcoin. Bitcoin is starting to fall, but it did not fall as much as Ethereum. I believe Bitcoin dominance is starting to break out once more. Bitcoin dominance, yeah. Not exactly a breakout yet, but this is essentially the beginning of an uptrend again. So Bitcoin dominance has been one of the most bullish things that we've had in crypto since really the last year. The last 12 months, Bitcoin dominance has been probably the best thing you could have bought. So if you'd converted all your altcoins into Bitcoin, you'd more than likely be up a good amount. That's a 30% run on dominance. That's a dramatic change. And it's holding strong. We're still cooking, so. I mean, if you just look at the charts for all the altcoins, you can explicitly see they're all bleeding. They're all bleeding. Solana, not so much, but. You think the ISR and PAL thing is dropping the market? Potentially, yeah. That could be a big swing in it as well. I mean, they've kind of been at war for a long time, right? They always seem like they're having debacles between the two nations. I'm not super well versed on it, so I don't want to speak too much on it because then I'm going to sound ignorant to some capacity. But anytime there's uncertainty, yeah, it drops the market. So perhaps that's why Ethereum Foundation started selling. The war is probably what's going on with it. Solana is very much range bound here. So if we're coming back down, we see Solana come back down that 10%, 12%. Potential for a good trade there. XRP looks like it's getting rejected from that trend line. Aptos is still falling. Everything's not looking strong. Aave getting rejected once more. We're going back down to $53. Remember that trade? We did well on that trade. Quant is building support there. And then, yeah. No complaints at all. On the daily, I don't see anything that's setting up to be a perfect trade for us, so we might not trade today. And that's quite alright. We got a thin herd this morning. Everyone's still sleeping from the weekend. Dream, you're a real one. You're here with us. You're crushing it. Nice video, by the way. I appreciate the shout out. I watched it this morning. Hell yeah. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. One a week. That's all we need. That's all we need, baby. Matic could be the one that we trade, right? It's staying below the VWAP. It's just not really engaging with the VWAP that much, so the trend is not as crystal clear, in my opinion. But where everything is bearish, we could potentially swing a trade here. But all charts look pretty much the exact same. Like something happened this morning at, yeah, something happened a few hours ago. It probably was the news of Ethereum selling. When did this break? 2 hours ago. Was that a drop from 2 hours ago? I don't think it was. No, that was 3 hours ago. My weight is half the price I bought it at, and invited I was nearly half the price. Oh. No bueno. Yeah, I mean, they're very risky plays, right? Both of them are extremely risky. I still don't own any weight in the hourglass. I was going to buy into it here. I was like getting pretty bad FOMO here because I thought for sure we would start ripping, but we did not. And now it's half the price. It's tough. That's tough. And then Vita. I do own Vita DAO. They don't really have a good chart to look at here. We'll just look at it compared to wrapped Ethereum. Yeah, this drop here was some big whale selling off like $1 million worth, and it caused a massive crash. A single whale crashed it down 70%. That's how illiquid it is, though. It can't withstand a $70 or $1 million sale. It's finding support, and I still think VitaDAO will do well for the longer term, right? I still hold my little section in here. But even this portfolio right now is getting hurt. Today was not a great day for it. VitaDAO, we're only up 5% on it now. God damn. Gotta be quicker to take profits. Even this one, I toyed taking profits on CheckDot. I didn't take profits, and now we're down. We're still up 60%, but I keep sitting in my hands when I know that I should be acting. My buy orders for STX. This could, I think I talked about this not too long ago. This could be a good breakout for Stacks. Stacks is reliant on Bitcoin to some capacity, right? It's built on top of Bitcoin, if I remember correctly. Or it helps, you know what, I don't know enough about it to do that, but it had this breakout. This trend line was pretty strong, and then we just broke out. It comes back down to test support and then makes that move. Stacks is something I know Josh is super bullish on, and it's worth looking deeper into, I suppose, if that's the case. I might open up a swing trade today on Aave or Solana. I think that's what might happen today, because I don't see us taking any day trades. The market does not look like it's going to be rewarding for me to be trading. So we might take some swing trades. I want to look at some of my stuff. I gotta keep you quiet. I'm just coming here to like the live stream. Shout out to 3 of you guys watching with us. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, it might not be super rewarding. I just exposed some of my friends like that. Because the only one that looks good is Matic. And we need Matic to come up to the VWAP. And that's kind of a big move for Matic. Matic coming up to the VWAP would probably either take a few hours or show signs of a reversal, right? If Matic pushed up 2.5%, it's probably going to continue to rally for the day, because that would mean Bitcoin's probably pushing back up. So we might just take like 10% of the account and go for a swing trade. Yeah, why don't we do that? I like that. I like that idea. That was genius. I want to look at some commodities and everything, because we know that inflation is coming out Wednesday, the CPI data, or Thursday, and then we have bank reports on the 13th. So this data is going to come in hot. I believe the inflation data is going to come in very hot, and the rationale here is because crude oil has really been cooking over the last several weeks. So this is the weekly chart of crude oil. We know that the inflation report that comes out in October is really the one for September. We know that this data lags by a good amount of time. So it's usually a couple months behind what month we're currently in. So despite that, September started here and ended here. So during September, oil went up 12%, ended the month up about 7%. Oil drives everything, and we don't need to explain that dynamic. So if oil's running, just like back here when inflation went off the rails, and then inflation's been falling for the last year or so, we've had this next rally, this next leg up. So the inflation data is probably going to peak back up, especially since for all of June, July, August, September, we've been going up. So things are, I think even if you go out and go exploring at your local grocery store, I feel like my thought process right now is a little bit stagnated, a little bit jumpy. Even if you go out to your grocery store right now, or you go shopping, there's not as many deals, there's not as many discounts, the clearance racks are pretty empty. Prices may not be rocketing anymore, but they're definitely starting to hurt a little bit again. We got kind of accustomed to the new norm because remember, inflation's never going to go away. We won't experience deflation. And if we do, you can rest assured they're going to turn those printers on as quick as possible because deflation's not good. So the prices are still going to continue to go up. They will never go back down to where they were. It's just they need to go up at a slower pace. And that's what was happening. But now things are starting to pick back up again. And if you go out, you can see that at first hand. You go do some footwork, go to the stores and go just keep inventory. Go get a vibe for what's going on. See how crowded the markets are. You'll see explicitly that like people don't have the same spending power that they had even just 4 or 5 months ago. So things are starting to cook up again, which I'm not a huge fan of. I really wasn't expecting that, but foolish on me for not expecting that, especially with all the wars that's going on out there. Things are just getting a little stuffy. Things are not moving to the same speed that they were. You go look at the DXY, the dollar. It's again, the dollar's been ripping. This is showing signs that people want to hold the dollar. People want to buy into the dollar. It's nowhere near where it was. And finally, we had the first weekly close that wasn't green. That was 12 candles in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 weeks in a row of green. And then we finally got one little red candle. It's possible the dollar starts making a move back down, but if the economic data continues to come in hot, then we won't be seeing that. You go look at TLT. These are bonds. So bonds have been falling off a cliff, right? We know that because bonds are inversely related to the yield. So as they rose interest rates, the bond prices started falling. Interest rates have not risen in like 3 months, yet bonds have fallen off for several months. Let's switch to a monthly calendar here real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's been 4 months of bonds selling off, which means yields are still continuing to go up despite the Fed not doing it. The market is pricing in higher rates. Yeah. We'll see. We'll see what happens. It's just a lot of moving parts all going on at the same time. A lot of moving parts. I do think that the United States is probably going to get involved in some wars here, though, because war is good for the economy. As gross as it is, economies thrive during and after war periods. You go look back at World War II. We had that boom right after the war. You go look at the Vietnam War. We had a boom. You go look at every war that we get majorly involved in, we have a large boom. The only problem is we usually get inflation as well. So we will see. That's the long duration. You go look at the short duration bonds. They're still holding up. But it doesn't look great. It definitely does not look great. The Ethereum Foundation selling and us breaking structure here really does make me think that it's time to potentially close out of some of the positions in the portfolio, because we might get like a solid 10 to 20% correction on ETH. You know, we might see that $1,300 Ethereum once more. Just trying to be as objective as I can. We might end up seeing a $1,300 Ethereum, which is a pretty sizable correction. Especially with the dominance. Alright, who's chilling in here with us? Anyone have any questions? Anyone want to chat about something before we open up that swing trade? I always end up opening these swing trades after things have fallen a little bit. And then if anyone's from X, I will be responding to your DMs to give you guys the ICP for who won that giveaway. That was a really fantastic giveaway. A really, really great giveaway. I said 5 winners, but there was a tie. There's 6 investors getting 5 ICP each. Appreciate you all. This was huge. This giveaway was actually super impressive to me. Let's go to the initial one. So I had done, this was the 5th giveaway I did. I was experimenting with different tactics for doing the giveaways, and while this one did not grow the following account, this is just for anyone who's a creator who wants to grow their accounts. This one did not necessarily grow my account that much. However, this did garner a strong relationship, I think, with some of the people who are following. So this was specific to just people who are already following me, who engage with my stuff. So there was a point system, and for 1 week, I kept track of a like, a reply, and a repost. Repost was 3 points, reply was 2, and a like was 1. So it really incentivized people to engage with stuff that I was posting. Anything that they enjoyed, like this close-up of my cat, 27 likes, 11 retweets, 16 responses. That's huge. That was phenomenal for me. That was unlike in the other giveaways, only stuff that I talked about pertaining to the giveaway was getting any engagement. And now, even after the giveaway having ended, I posted, like, we're a war-based economy, still getting some traction. Secondhand confidence got some good traction. The thing I posted this morning, 4 likes, a retweet, let's go. Who was that? Who was that? It's probably Dream. All right. Oh, Vivian. Dream, I'm hurt. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. So really what I found was that this was probably the best giveaway. The best format for a giveaway for me. For companies, not. For companies, you just stick to the standard. Follow me in the company, like and retweet, and then maybe respond. But the more things, the more difficult it's going to be for a person to actually follow through with it all, you know? I'm looking at information on how canisters work with ICP. Yeah, it's like a convoluted smart contract. It's pretty cool. It is pretty interesting. It's like a convoluted smart contract. You're hurt? No, I'm just kidding. No pain. All love. Definitely worth looking into the canisters. They're very, very fascinating. ICP is something that I don't know its fate. I'm a big fan of it. I think it has really phenomenal technology and a good, strong future, so long as the tokenomics don't destroy it. Like, if this thing can survive, it's going to be a massive, massive force in the industry. It's just a matter of, will it survive? You know, look at this. There's not been a single person who has bought into ICP who has made money if they're still holding. The falls are getting less and less. They're getting less severe as time goes on, right? But like, there's only so far down it can go. The tokenomics are not something that are impressive at all, which speaks to the idea of not holding something with poor tokenomics during a bear market. They launched at such a terrible time, and then it's just been straight down. The technology behind it is insane. Like, you can take Bitcoin and put it inside of a canister natively, so it's not like you're wrapping it, like it's just chilling on the contract, in the contract. And then you can give Bitcoin access to all of the smart contract capabilities that ICP has. I mean, ICP can call on HTTP queries, so it can literally just put Bitcoin onto the internet without all the nonsense that comes with it. You also get access to the speed at which transactions are finalized, which is like multiple blocks in a second. It's really, really powerful stuff. It's just doesn't matter if the price falls off a cliff forever. Blockchain Boy's a fan and Josh isn't a fan of the team. I'm hoping to figure it out myself. Yeah. Again, there's no denying that the technology is phenomenal. The only thing that you can deny is, well, yeah. There's no denying the technology is phenomenal. It's just the people behind it set it up so that the tokenomics were not phenomenal. And that sucks. But we're here. We're chilling. I think it's a good deal. I'm willing to take that risk. For me, personally, as an investor, anything under $5 has been a good time for me to be accumulating. So that's what I did. My average price, I believe, is just under $4, and I'm happy with my bag. So I'm going to leave it there. We'll put this right at, I think it's like $4.98 or something. So we're going to leave it there. I'm not going to be adding anymore, but I won't be selling. I'm either going to ride this down to 0, or I'm riding it all the way back up to the price points that I think it will get to, which will be pretty good returns if we do get to that point. A 23x, I'll take. If we get up to that $100 range, no promises on it, obviously. I don't know what will happen, but in the meantime, let us decipher between a short on Solana or Aave. So Aave we should have gotten in a short a day or two ago. That was pretty clear. At this spike, that was pretty clear that we weren't going to hold. So over the weekend is when I should have gotten the Aave short. So I think I'm going to hold off on the Aave one for a day or two. Solana, though, I do believe I will be getting into here. Keep having to extend these lines. We didn't quite reach all the way back up. I don't think it matters too much, especially with the market starting to sell. So I'm going to enter in with 10% of the account. Again, this is for a swing trade. Let's zoom in a little bit first. And then we might end this one a little bit early because I don't really have where we don't have the setup. I don't think it's worth chilling here for anything. We'll answer some questions and talk for a minute, but yeah, should wait for a little bit of a pump. So I think the next short period of time we might get a pump back up. What's your plan for the green screen? I don't know yet. If you got any ideas, I want to put just something back there so that during the live streams I have a little bit of something there, because the mess behind it. Right now it's just blocking out all the boxes and shelves and random pieces of garbage that I have behind me. So it's just to make it look a little bit cleaner. But I'm not super good with the OBS tech and everything, so I want to put anything behind me to just make it look nicer. And also above my head should be the live chat, but like I can't figure out how to get it up there. I have the overlay. If we go look, we'll go real quick. I have the overlay right here. You see how it highlights when I hover over it? Like, I know that it's there. It says that I can do the live chat, but it's not actually doing the live chat. Oh well. Glad people can't see my room. Yeah. My favorite thing, OBS thing, is recording my camera and my display capture separately. See, I don't even know what you mean by that. I don't even know what you mean by that. I think this might be it. I think we might wrap up the live stream here, because I got nothing else really. I'm gonna try and look into this and just see if I can make a video about this with Monstero. but we will see. This is from 2014, so they've been trying to do it for a very long time. I think the war over there might open the door for some sort of corporate takeover, some hostile takeover, but we'll see. I need a lot of research into that before I can actually make any conclusive thought process there, any conclusive decision. So I'm looking for Solana. We're going to have a little bit of a spike again, I think. And in this spike, I will open the short for a swing trade. On this swing trade, I'm looking just to ride it back down to this line, which will bring us 14% yield. We'll see. We'll see if it comes through. Your time's your most valuable asset. Hopefully, this was worth investing into. We'll see you guys later today, probably, or tomorrow at 9 a.m.